Welcome back, kids, to another episode of Sit Crooked, Talk Straight. I am Katie Myers.
And I'm Leanne Jameson.
I'm not quite sure why that intro was so awkward, but I'm just going to kind of embrace that inner part of me. We are just a couple of gal pals sitting around shooting the shit. If you're new to the show, we're both licensed professionals. We are super passionate about empowering women. We want you to snuggle up with a cup of hot cocoa or tea or a glass of wine. Get comfortable because sometimes what we talk about gets uncomfortable. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun today.
We are going to have some fun. And we are gearing up for our 3-year anniversary, 3-year birthday bash, however you want to put it. I love it.
Who knew?
Who would have thought? So, we knew that we were going to be in this wild journey together. We just weren't sure how. And this is how this came up. And we're super excited to be celebrating our 3 years. And we're celebrating so many things, celebrating our friendships, celebrating our growth, celebrating all of you, especially. And through this process, we are leading up to what we hope to be a live session where we can invite all of you. So be on the lookout for different invites, different polls that we're asking you to that you want to engage in, and just different ways to help us know how to serve you best, because that's what we truly are. We're servants at heart. And that's how we ended up knowing each other and getting to know each other. And this is why we continue to do what we do. So both individually and collectively. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. We really hope to have a really fun, just like everybody come on this live session with us, and we'll do a real live session with all of you, podcast session, answering all the questions, getting into discussions with all of you. So be on the lookout for all of that. So today we're actually recapping. We are going back to listen to actually one of our, I want to say not first, it's our 13th, right? How funny. Number 3 anniversary and 13. Love the threes. Three's my number. So we're going to go back to episode 13 where it says, let's talk about sex, baby. And I just have to tell you guys, if you go to this episode, so episode 13, let's talk about sex, baby. I don't know if you guys will see this, but Katie and I see, because I was sharing my screen, more episodes like this. We both said that we're going to have to check this out. Because it is I Kissed a Girl with Charlie Merlot, Lesbian Supper Club. And we were both like, this sounds pretty cool. So I don't know, but I'm going to check it out after.
Stay tuned. There might be more to come from that.
So what we're going to do for this session is that we're going to share the audio, and we're sort of just going to recap on it. You might hear some fast forwarding, I'm not going to go through the whole intro and everything like that, but just our actually real time response to what we did in 3 years ago. It's maybe we'll surprise ourselves. Yeah.
I've not listened to this episode in 3 years, so I'm game on. I love it.
Game on. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started with sharing this episode, and let's go. I gotta make sure I can see Katie too. This is all right. There we go. Oh, there we go. I have to stop it already. I have to stop it. out the gate, you're like, we are going to be talking about vaginas and penises, and we weren't even like, hey, earmuffs, kids. I may have skipped that part, but
But how cute and sweet that I'm just like out of the gate, like running. I don't know what I'm doing in this, like I don't, I right, like we're so fresh and newbie, but I'm like,
we're
we're
going
not.
for it.
We're going for it. Go big or go home, because like we're going for it.
Exactly. Oh, so good. And we're still like that, I would say.
Mhm.
My gosh. So that's still my truth. And you know what I realized is that I forgot to talk about my first encounter. Like I knew that it was always like my mom would always be like, "Oh, it's disgusting," blah. And I think I get into that here. But I remember finding Playboys in my uncle's, like it was this huge like what do they call it? Like chests, right? That like
Mhm.
tons and tons and tons of all of these Playboys were in there. And I was like, what is this? And why am I so stimulated?
Why am I so happy?
What is happening in my vagina?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anything that you want to add?
How old were you when you saw the Playboys?
I think I was like 9, 8 or 9, somewhere
Okay.
around there. What about
Yeah.
you?
Well, when the neighbor boy brought over, I must have been like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Whatever I said in the original episode, I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then of course, something I didn't share, I don't think I did anyway. I learned a lot about sex from MTV Spring
Ah!
Break.
I don't remember you talking about that.
Probably didn't. But yeah, like I was left alone a lot, and so watching MTV. For all you young folk, MTV's music television. I don't even know if it still exists.
I don't.
It probably doesn't exist in the way that we knew it, but I learned a lot from and the Real World. Um,
Ah.
those were
Isn't
really
the Real World was on MTV too, right? Yeah.
uh
Yep. Uh-huh.
big educators in my world.
Oh, I tell you. Movies, Playboys. Yep. Oh gosh. I was just thinking about the yeah. I'm sorry. The
Leanne's
time
having a moment.
I was like, should I? Oh, I may have gone into this in some episode, or maybe it was this one, but I remember waking up. My dad was passed out on his recliner. We lived in this duplex. It was like so young. I was so young. And I remember walking out and being like, what the it was Christmas time. It was Christmas time. And I walk out and there's porn on and there's Santa in a porn. I was like, the fuck is this? I was so confused. Anyway, I was like, I don't even know what to make of. Like my brain could not take it. I didn't know what was happening.
It was a mind fuck, whatever that was. It was a mind fuck.
It sure was. It was imprinted on my fucking mind and my body. So I was like, my body was just like went into like, what is going on?
Santa. Oh.
I know, right?
Mm.
It was so confusing. It was so confusing. That was, oh my gosh, I think that was before I saw Playboy, the Playboy magazines. That was my introduction. Santa and a porn. The fuck? No wonder. No, my whole life makes sense now. My whole sexual life.
A formative moment and a core memory experience. It shapes us, y'all. It shapes us.
Holy hell. Don't ask me how. Maybe that'll be in a lot later episode.
Do a follow up.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it through 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
We're not going to listen to the whole episode. It's going to be
We are not. If you want to go back and listen to it, it's fine. Just so you know, too, I just looked up. It's 111. I always love numbers, so just putting that out there. We're on the right track. That might have been a message from my dad. Like, the fuck you talking about me for?
Sorry, Dad.
Oh, thanks, Dad, for all the formative years. See, I did talk about it. I think I'm talking about having sex here. Hold on a second. All right, this is when I talk about just like how it was like dirty and nasty, right? This is how I learned. That was just one of the many times my mom looked at me with disgust. I love you, Mom.
Aww.
Around sex, right? Like it was just, it was, and it was so her conditioned self too, right? Like being thrown out. Anyways, I think I talked about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm as like I said, guys. I'm gonna be like just sort of like jumping through some of these. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you want to say anything about that?
I was hoping that I caught that as I'm like listening. I was like, please say something. Please say something. Yes, I caught it. Okay, good. I just wanted to be sure I was on it during the first go at it. But yes, that's what she said. Huge, huge topic. Huge, huge.
Huge. Oh, many of you who have been lifelong listeners for 3 years know that we turn into teenage boys sometimes. And you know what? I would challenge to shift that to like, can we just make it like teenage girls, teenage individuals, teenage humans? Like this is.
We turn into teenagers. We turn into pre or pubescent teenagers. That's okay.
Exactly. Mm. I'm gonna pause here because yeah, go, 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 go.
Well, like, okay, so holy shit, right? And I don't know how much to go into it around like the parallels and the timing of listening to this. Okay, so
That's why I paused. I'm like, hold on.
hold the phone. Um, I don't even know what to say about it because there's a I am spoiler alert. I haven't figured anything out. I haven't like I'm probably closer to understanding parts of me and what we were just talking about in the episode as far as like the meaning and the like what's deeper about like the act of sex. But I continue to pull back layers of my onion, so to speak, and learn so much so that it's almost like I'm learning that I never knew anything to begin with, which I made the comment to you earlier, like I'm certain of one thing. I do not know shit. And I'm uncomfortable with that sometimes. And then other times I'm just kind of like, fuck it. Like what else can I do? Like I am who I am. It is what it is. We are where we are. Let's keep going. It's worth it to keep going. But also like, shit, like I don't, I'm still 3 years later, I'm still asking many of the same questions. Um, damn.
Right, right. Well, and I think that we get to, like you were saying, it's just, pulling back different like layers of the onion of like, we get to one layer and we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, I
Mhm.
can release this now. I can release this belief, or I can accept this belief, or I could, whatever you need to do. It's not all about releasing, it's also about accepting. Um,
Mhm.
and just like you said, like I'm accepting that I am this way, and that I have these thoughts and these desires, and like that's where I go to of just like, yeah, like at what point do we stop trying to quote unquote fix ourselves, and like and actually it's like through the acceptance that we heal ourselves, right? Where so it's like the biggest acceptance of all when we talk about, so I was getting on a tangent again. That's another thing that we still do. So it's like you pull back one part of the onion and then you realize, oh my gosh, that was just like a superficial layer.
That was a practice
Not that
layer. That
there's
was
like
a
any like
practice.
no judgment about it, right? Like not calling us superficial, but like that was just one piece of it. That was one piece. And then we get to like unmask another layer and then, another. And so we're like, okay. And I think it's just the acceptance of like, I just accept that I really, really didn't know anything. And that's it. And I'm still searching, and that's okay. And I'm still finding my voice. And we do it in like little,
Mm,
sometimes big, sometimes little. It's just like consistently being
mhm,
able to reflect on it. So,
totally.
I feel like you've learned different layers of that. And that's what you were saying.
So many layers
Mm.
too. I mean, I can't even get into half of it right now, like for lots of different reasons, but mostly because it's just so much.
Yeah.
And keep searching,
Mm.
ladies.
Hmm.
When you find yourself at a crossroads and you're like, huh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about me. I didn't know that about them. I didn't know that about the thing, whatever. Keep on keeping on. Keep asking questions.
Yeah.
Keep searching.
Stay curious, stay compassionate. Absolutely. So, and it's interesting. What came to me too is like, oh my gosh, there was like one of the layers I think in this unraveling, unearthing, I would say for you has been your book, right? You did not have your book published when we were talking about this,
Nope.
um, and that was a big piece of you that you've been birthing for some time. Um,
Absolutely.
mhm.
Absolutely.
What's the name of your book?
Okay, I'm being seen. Um, hold please. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
haven't talked about it in a while.
I know.
I know. Yes, being seen, and I share like that part of like my upbringing, um, around sexuality and like the exchange of meaning and love and acceptance and desire, like all those things. So yeah, like I go into it much deeper. deeper.
Shaboom. That's what she said.
Um, that's what she said. So yeah. Anyway, it's a it's a big topic, I know, but and um, don't pretend like you have it all figured out because
Mhm.
I bet you don't.
We're all still trying to figure it out together here. That is all. All right, I'm going to keep going for a little bit.
Well,
I'm pausing here.
yeah.
How did you get to the point? Because I don't think we talked about this on the episode. How did you get to the point where you're like, I need to reclaim my virginity?
Well, I'd gotten really involved in like youth group, like church stuff. And it was just, again, like the inundation of people in the church, whether small group leaders or pastors, preachers, whomever, that just really like rammed it down my throat about purity, and I just felt so shameful that I had done what I had done, and if I could reverse it, that would be amazing. But like you can't reverse it, you can't take it back, you can't go back. But the whatever the symbolism around it felt like I was back in good grace with God. Um, so I mean, yeah, like this gets real complicated and like intertwined with like religiosity and spirituality and like how I defined God. And did I believe in a loving God at that time? No, I believed in a wrathful, angry God that was like, you failed, you fucked up. And that thank God that is not what I believe in today, but it was so messy and like entangled in all these things, and so it wasn't clean cut, or like it was complicated. Yeah,
Mm.
church, church.
Did you have to repent? Did they know then? Like, did you go to somebody? Because I know just from my church, it was like you would go to confession and you would, all that. So was it the same for you?
So we didn't do like a formal Although, I mean, the signing of the document, I was in a small group with like other teenagers, other young girls, with a small group leader, and that was like a verbal and ritual kind of like, I signed this document, this certificate of like I received a certificate that said that I was a virgin again, and like that was. So in a way, yes, but not formally like how Catholics do it.
Got you.
Different. This is different, and this is weird. Like I know this happened a lot during. I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about purity culture and like this phenomenon, and I don't know if it still takes place because I have distanced myself so much from the church that like I pray to God that they figure out a different way. But yeah, that's what it was weird.
What was, I'm just gonna dive right in. Like, what was weird about it? Like, was it? I think we're gonna stop here. We're gonna stop here, and we're just gonna chit chat a little bit, if that's
Yeah.
okay. We have a couple minutes, so I am gonna. Can I stop sharing? There we go. Okay, so I can actually see you. If you guys want to listen to the rest of the episode 13, check it out. Let's talk about sex, baby, where we go into a bunch of different things. But yeah, tell me, because I don't think we really got into this like purity culture and like how this actually unfolded and like the shame that ensued for you. Because for me, it's so interesting when I look at the different paths sort of that we took, where it's like I felt shame because I remember going and I went to confession and I was like, I am no longer a virgin. And um I remember it. I remember it so clearly. And I felt like there was such shame and that distanced me and I went the complete opposite way. You know what I mean? I went buck wild, unintended, like totally everywhere. It was not like I went into a deep shame and I went in the other direction.
Yeah, and the process for me was I did have a little bit of that rebellion, but with this particular kind of like spiritual purity type thing, it was very much swinging. I swung the pendulum in the opposite direction of like, I mean, I just got really judgmental. Like I was like, I mean, super self-righteous around like modesty and like not like dressing certain ways or speaking certain ways or I just got real judgmental and self-righteous. And I think that was part of like I was hoping maybe subconsciously that if I was able to embody that would somehow atone for or make up for these other parts of me. It's fascinating, even as I think about that today, how I still, damn, the fucking cycle just repeats.
Oh, we repeat it until we learn it. That's typically how it goes.
So y'all, I start Leanne's program, the certification program. I'd love for you to talk more about it if we have time. I start it next week, and it's a year-long program. I cannot wait to dive into what Leanne teaches about the divine feminine, embracing our shadows self, and look at what just happened.
I had my eyes closed. I didn't see. I was like, I was imagining you moving through it. And then you come to me. And
my camera is intuitive and it like knows when it's supposed to like zoom in. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. But the journey continues, the processing continues. Getting to do the work that I know is going to happen over the next year is likely, I mean, I don't know, except for that I do know that when I've done deep introspective and healing work, it's like cleaning out a wound that like got infected and like it hurts like a motherfucker. But if you don't clean it out,
you're gonna lose a limb.
And so it's like, clean that shit out so that you can move forward. And while it's painful, it will be worth it. And
Do you think that that's like that came up for you because are you being judgy towards yourself?
Right
Like, because we
now?
were talking about judgmental, like you went into this like very judgmental space, and then you're like, oh, full circle, of course, like, and this is why I'm doing this. Is that where that came? Like, I was just wondering, yeah, what connected?
1000%. And again, subconscious levels of like, we repeat the cycle until we learn the lesson. There's still so much I have to learn because going back to what I said a second ago, like, I don't know shit. And when I think I do, I get kind of cocky and arrogant and holier than thou. And then it's like, then I'm knocked off my pedestal and that fucking hurts because when you're up that high, the fall hurts. But yeah, I totally. Oh,
Oh.
y'all stay tuned. I mean, maybe I'll just start recording my therapy sessions too. And
I'll be talking about my relationship. You'll be talking about your deep
it's real talk, ladies. Real talk by real women with real fucking change.
Exactly. We're going through this with you. We are all here together collectively. So, so I'm super excited to have you in this next course. So the next course that, Katie's diving into is the Divine Feminine Empowerment Certification. And we dive into other levels of healing with your shadow self, the archetypes, the divine feminine archetypes, and also the dark archetypes, and how we shun them, we shame them, and how it's important for us to understand how to utilize them with power, like have them be part of our strength, instead of how we've been viewing it as like a weakness and like, needing to be fixed, or something is wrong with me, where it's just like truly, and I can't remember if I said this here or if it was before, of like the acceptance, right? And it's the acceptance of just like, this is part of me that goes through the healing process. And again, nothing's wrong with you. It's just, we are going through this journey. So anyway, super excited to continue this journey with everybody, moving into our 3 years. What I would propose, and I didn't even check this with Katie, is that we do a giveaway of her book.
Yes. I would love that. I would love to, like, whatever we decide to create, like, I have extra copies, like, we can, yes, done.
Yay! Oh, awesome. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. We'll see how we can integrate this, because that was something that I was talking to my teammate, my assistant, my right-hand woman, my other right-hand woman. I have lots of right-hand women. I have a hand for this, I have a hand for that. Anyways. I hope Sarah, our other right-hand woman for our podcast, can take that one out and show it to everybody. All the hands that help me.
The many hands that have made this possible.
So we have, I can't remember where we're going with that. Again, we still go on tangents. The giveaway. So we were talking to Pilar about like things to do, and she had recommended a giveaway. So we're going to figure out with Pilar how we can make that happen, how we do that, what we want to integrate. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff leading up to our 3 years, which is in April 2025 is our 3-year birthday. So super excited. Katie is actually going to be at my legacy birthday bash. Yes, the legacy bash. So that's going to be in Western New York. It's a weekend retreat, and we might do something really fun there too. So be on the lookout for all of it. So we are celebrating all of you and thanking you so much for being on this crazy, tangential, life-changing, sitting around chatting about real fucking shit that is happening, like in real time, and hoping that this lands with you and that gives you hope and inspiration and strength to move through whatever you're moving through. And as always, we love hearing from you. You can email us. We might be setting up a line where you can actually call in. So I'm super stoked about that. And yeah, just be on the lookout for lots of fun stuff happening for the next month and a half. So until next time, come on and be sure to listen to episode 13. Recap if you haven't. We're going to be looking at, what episodes hit the most for you guys and celebrating those as well. So until next time, just know that we are constantly sending you love and light. That our hope for you is to truly, truly embrace like the highest form of yourself, your truest form of yourself, to continue to speak in alignment with your values and your truths, because we need that more than ever right now. And to speak from heart and inspiration so that we can help lead others to a world of love and compassion as well. So, sending so much love and light. Until next time, keep living your legacy and living your purpose, because we need you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.